Hey everyone, welcome into Siren Records Monterey, and I hope you're all having a great week. And we have some great new releases and reissues for you today. If you're new here, this is how it works. So every Friday, we kind of have a little discussion about some of the new releases that came out on vinyl today or fairly recently, and reissues. And it tends to run long sometimes, so we do post a list down below. It should be the first comment in the section below, and it has the whole list for you in alphabetical order, which is how we go, apart from picks of the week, which are the ones at first. But that way you can skip through if you don't have time to devote. Okay, so let's get started with picks of the week. The first thing I have for you is just so great. This is Suicide Surrender, and you can kind of see when I flip that, you see how it's embossed like this, okay? Well, anyway, this is a collection. This influential electronic punk duo Suicide, it was Alan Vega and Marty Reva, so this is a brand new remastered collection, and it spans that whole, like I said, 40-year career of theirs. It's an introduction to their very raw, eclectic, and inspiring catalog. And although this band barely received any credit during their career, they are cited as one of the most inspirational bands of the 1970s, and influencing the likes of Soft Cell, Depeche Mode, Jesus and Mary Chain, and also, garnering fans and people like Nick Cave and Spiritualized, Bobby Gillespie, MIA, all that kind of great stuff. So that's just to name a few. Anyway, so there is liner notes in here by Henry Rollins, and I think he really says it best. This is his quote from the liner notes. It said, "Suicide made some of the coolest, most uncompromising music ever inflicted on our species. This gathering of songs is not a best of, nor is it a definitive all you need to know compilation. It is an introduction that will hopefully compel you to explore the albums." So this is presented now in this limited edition double vinyl on 140-gram blood red vinyl, in an embossed outer sleeve. Like I said, if I hold that a certain way, you can kind of see the embossing there. So it's got this embossed white outer sleeve and a mirror gatefold inner package. And it also contains a set of brand new, extensive, and extraordinary liner notes, as I said, by longtime fan Henry Rollins. The track listing was collated by Marty Rev, Vega's partner, Liz Lemaire, and Henry Rollins, and includes tracks from their classic debut album Suicide from 1977 to their final outing American Supreme in 2002. The LP also features two brand new unheard tracks. The first one is Girl, which is an unreleased version of that, and Frankie Teardrop, the first version of that. So the package is, like I said, been fully remastered, 2 LPs, and it is dynamite. So that is a wonderful thing. The second thing I wanted to feature for you as a pick is, this is so cool. This is the Winstons, and it's called Color Him Father. This is on Soul Jazz Records. And so think of it this way. Okay, so what do Tyler the Creator, Mantronix, Stedistonic, DJ Shadow, Eric B. and Rakim, Brand Nubian, Jay-Z, and NWA have in common? Not to mention the Prodigies, Square Pusher, Left Field, Oasis, Aphex Twin, Dua Lipa, David Bowie, Primal Scream, and Lady Gaga. So the answer is they all have sampled the Winstons' Amen Brother. The Winstons, it's the most sampled drum break in the history of music, over 5,000 plus times according to whosampled.com. And this has shaped the evolution of electronic music ever since its creation in 1969. So this is the official release of the Winstons' Color Him Father album. It's been out of print for 50 years on vinyl, and it's a glorious break-heavy album full of soul, funk, and gospel that features the singles Color Him Father, Amen Brother, and loads more. And it's fully remastered. It's housed in an exact reproduction of the original sleeve, and design comes with 4 extra bonus tracks that the group released only as singles. So 2 strong ones for picks right out of the gate. I think those are just incredible. Okay, now let me just put this back together and let's get on with the beginning. All right, let me see. Hopefully I haven't really screwed myself up notes-wise here. Gosh, I hope I didn't. We're going to find out, though, aren't we? Okay. Wait a minute. We may come to a little bump in the road down there. Okay, but anyway, let's get on with it here. We got to get through some stuff. Okay, first up, this is Accept to Mean to Die. This is on Nuclear Blast, and this is the German metal AC/DC, I guess you could call them the AC/DC of German metal. They're here. The even lineup changes in a global pandemic couldn't keep them from bringing out their 16th album of classic 80s style metal. So they have a new bassist and a third guitarist in tow now. It just finds these guys sitting in a pretty good place with an album's worth of kind of tried and true tunes. That exactly the kind of material you'd expect from them at this stage in their 40 year plus career. And it's been, it's a little more polished and a little more produced than as the earlier stuff. But anyway, this is, it makes a good soundtrack for drinking beer and rowdy antics. It's limited edition silver vinyl. Okay, and then we have Bambara, Love on My Mind. This is on Wharf Cat Records, and with Love on My Mind, it's a 6-song mini album, okay? And it's been mixed by the guy who mixes stuff for like tennis and parquet courts and Johnny Marr. So they've got all this, normally the energy and darkness that have made them so compelling, they rearranged it into something really kind of defiantly new and very atmospheric. And, it's taken all this into consideration. It amounts to another kind of massive step forward for Bambara. The boldest thing they've ever done, and it's the sound of yet another breakthrough, I think. So this is on green vinyl. It's got a sticker to tell us that, yay. And that's now here. Next up is Barry, and this is Barbara, and this is on the Wind Spear label. Now, Barry Lindsay is the type of artist who's driven by very precise versions of how music should sound, but she's 32 years old. She's very an obsessive producer, and she can be like, kind of overthinking things to a fault. Although I really did like their debut. This is her second album under that moniker of just Barry. She's been kind of kicking around for a while before that. But so on Barbara, her first ever self-produced album, she's like battled these kind of, overdone self-censoring kind of things. And she's really tried to keep things as a, just very instinctual, which is working out. It's a beautifully peculiar and very ambiguous collection of synth pop, art pop, indie rock, folk songs. And, she's just kind of inviting her listeners into her world. This is on limited edition metallic blue vinyl that has been recycled. Okay, and that one also is here on cassette if you're interested. Okay, so then we have Blink 182 Greatest Hits. This is on Geffen. It's compiled from tracks from Cheshire Cat, Dude Ranch, Enema of the State, The Mark, Tom, and Travis Show, and Take off your pants and jacket. Okay, Blink 182, also the self-titled one. And more. So the album sports 2 bonus items on here. It's got an outtake from the 2003 self-titled album and Another Girl, Another Planet, which served as the theme to MTV's reality show Meet the Barkers, starring Blink drummer Travis Barker. So anyway, nice collection of greatest hits from them. Okay. Now, and that's also 2 LPs on standard black vinyl, okay? Next up, we have Bon Iver. The title of this album is Bon Iver, Bon Iver, okay? And this is on Jaguar. This marks the 10-year anniversary of the worldwide release of this highly acclaimed sophomore release, which is what this one is, Bon Iver, Bon Iver. To commemorate, the band and Jaguar have released a limited edition reissue of the influential album. And the edition features 5 songs from Bon Iver's beautiful Air Studio session, which captures the grand spirit of Bon Iver, and distills it into a sharper focus. So as Justin Vernon and Sean Carey perform the songs as a duo on grand pianos and vocals only. These versions will be available in these physical forms and across digitally for the first time. The physical release here is features a blind embossed version of the original cover art and an intimate personal essay from longtime fan Phoebe Bridgers, recalling how the massive, sprawling, unbelievably complex album brings about both yearning for yesterday, contentment for the present, and collective hope for the future. So anyway, the album's iconic cover art has been reimagined to a minimal white on white with a white vinyl LP to match. But again, if I kind of hold it that way, you see the embossing. It's that original album cover, but just on this raised embossed all white. So man, everybody's going for the all white these days. All right, on white vinyl. Now, this is Camp Cope, and this is called Running with the Hurricane, and this is on Run for Cover. So they're on the third LP from this Melbourne trio. It's about what happens after chaos hits and when you've walked through the fire and come out stronger, calmer, and happier than ever before. Now, their last album, 2018's How to Socialize and Make Friends, they kind of put these guys under a big spotlight. You know, the release allowed them to say what they needed, but in their personal lives, they're in a very different place at this time around. And again, this is all post-pandemic stuff, you know, people doing their thing. And it's an album that's kind of gentler than what they've done before. It's more positive and at peace with the universe. You know, they've been thinking too deep. The title track sometimes is, you know, a line in it is "The only way out is up." So while the big stuff of this album is all about growth and overcoming and pushing through pain, it's the little details are still very quintessentially Camp Cope. So it reflects on faltered romance, secret crushes, and the confidence that makes you feel like you're on fire. And it's about taking comfort in knowing who you are and feeling yourself and returning always to the city of Melbourne. Them returning always to the city of Melbourne, their hometown. So this is a limited edition neon violet vinyl, and it comes with a digital download. All right, next up is Natalie Cole, Unforgettable with Love. This is on Craft Recordings, and it's, you know, she's a very legendary singer and songwriter. Biggest album to date. Its initial release was in 1991. And it sold over 7 million copies and also won her 7 Grammy Awards. The album's title track is the interactive duet with her father, Nat King Cole. It would go on to be one of her most memorable recordings. And this features the singles LOVE and Our Love Is Here to Stay. So this is the 30th anniversary edition of this. And it's newly remastered, and it's available on 180 gram, just plain up black vinyl. Okay, now this is kind of a confusing thing because this is these Dark Nights death metal flexi discs, and instead of you know, going on them one at a time, I'm just going to show you all 4 at once. And when I post the list down below, they are going to be in their regular spot. We're starting out with this one. This is Death Metal 1. It's the special edition soundtrack. This is a variant cover. These have already been out before, but this is like reimagined. Now, this one here, the first one is Rise Against, and it is, I want to, well, let me see. I'm not sure what I probably have it in my notes coming up, the title of the flexi disc. You get the comic and the flexi disc in here. And this one, the variant covers, they've reimagined this Batman, but these are the members of Rise Above right here. Rise Against. And so that's why it's already kind of, this is the second printing of this, I guess. Okay, now I know this is all very confusing, but it is on Loma Vista. The second printing here is the color, the art is by Dave Johnson, and it's packaged with, Broken Dreams ink. Maybe that's the Rise Against song is Broken Dreams ink. Anyway, the flexi in this is red vinyl, not vinyl, but it's a red flexi. Okay, now the second one is All right. Gray Days. Ooh. We're just throwing them away. Okay, here we go. This one is Gray Days. It's also the second printing of this. And this is art by Ryan Brown. This one is packaged with Anything Anything. It's a black flexi vinyl. Not vinyl, black flexi disc. Sorry, you guys, I don't mean to keep saying vinyl. Okay, now the third one is, all right, this is special edition variant cover. This is Denzel Curry. This one's also been out before, but this is a new cover that we've done here, they've done. Second printing of this. The cover art is by Kai Carpenter, and the flexi disc is the song Bad Luck, which, like I said, yeah, it's been out before. Yellow flexi disc on that one. And here's number 4. And this one is Manchester Orchestra. And the art design, again, by Dave Johnson. This is packaged with Never Ending on a white flexi. It's limited to 5,000 units worldwide. So, okay, these are all, Dark Knights, death metal, DC Comics, through Loma Vista, but all 4 are here. And yeah, I hope I explained that well enough. I know it's hard to follow. It was very confusing for me too. But all right. Next up, this is Destroyer, Labyrinthitis, and this is from the Merge label. And if you were half listening to Destroyer's 13th album, you'd think it was decent. It's relatively tuneful, nods towards some very trendy mid-'80s production, kind of somewhat in the style of Cut Copy, but with some bonus kind of disco rhythms and Art of Noise kind of beats to keep it going, okay? But the more attention you pay to this, the more you discover everything about this album is somehow delightfully wrong. The full listening experience is very perplexing and intriguing. It's sometimes perhaps a little irritating, but it's still kind of got that intoxicating thing that draws you into it. Musically, the individual elements make sense, but they tend to place them together with kind of like real abandon. So the opening few seconds of the album are like a rhythmic car crash, and before It's in Your Heart Now coalesces into this goth amble, melancholic synth pads, everything is like in a thick fog, very, guitar solos that remind you of like, the old like Doors stuff. There's a 3-minute mark. It's even more off kilter. Then the vocals of this guy peeping through this like real everything. They've got slinky guitar, twinkling keys, synth, fragments of slapping bass. All this stuff is going on. But anyway, it's very unexpected and very unpredictable. And these synth noises and muted trumpet in the middle. But the strangest is the low beat poet voice, which is dropped in near the end, apparently in a mid-sentence, which is kind of, it's that kind of self-assured sort of, I don't know, just kind of busting through doorways kind of editing that the Fall albums had. Whenever any producer would let like Mark E. Smith near a mixing desk, it's that kind of energy to it. It's really something. So this is on limited edition green and white vinyl, and it does come with a download too. But yeah, that was a good one here. One of the better ones this week. All right, now we got Ed Schrader's Music Beat, Nightclub Daydreaming. This is on Car Park Records. Baltimore-based post-punk duo Ed Schrader's Music Beat. It's Ed Schrader and this his bassist Delvin Rice. This is their new album, their 4th album, follow-up to 2018's Riddles, which was their first album for Car Park. And Schrader and Rice began writing the album in 2019 and started playing some of the songs live in February of 2020. On tour before COVID stopped everything. Then the album transformed from the upbeat disco record they initially intended it to be to something darker and deeper. So this was recorded and mixed in Baltimore over a 2-week period, and it is on gold vinyl, and it also comes with a digital download. Okay, now we have Fucked Up. Do All Words Can Do, and this is on Matador. So Fucked Up have compiled 9 tracks previously exclusive to 7-inch singles for this new Rarities album called Do All Words Can Do. It follows the band's 10th anniversary reissue and tour of David Comes to Life, and the tracks originate from that same era. All right, so this is a reissue of Goldfrapp, Felt Mountain. It's the 2022 edition, and this is on Mute. They announced this reissue of their iconic debut from Alison Goldcrab. Goldcrab. Sorry. I'm sorry, Alison. Alison Goldfrapp and Will Gregory. Felt Mountain originally was released in 2000. And it's got a Mercury Prize and has amassed over 250,000 sales in the UK alone. It's often cited as their most influential record. It's presented here on limited edition 140-gram gold vinyl, housed in a gatefold sleeve, and also includes a brand new sleeve notes and an 8-page 12x12 booklet on gold vinyl. Okay. Now we have Gorilla Toss. This is on Sub Pop. It's called Famously Alive. And this is, okay, their Sub Pop debut. I can't get over the gold crap thing. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. All right. After a decade of, sprinkling glitter into grit, that's the kind of sound that they go for. They're building a reputation as one of the most ferociously creative art rock groups that are working in upstate New York, and they have eased fully into the light. This is their most luminescent, awake, alive, and extended open invitation to anyone who wants to soak it up with them. They've got a singer and lyricist, Cassie Carlson, who's a multi-instrumentalist, and Peter Negroponte, and guitarist Adrian Shafi. So they wrote this at home in the Catskills during the pervading quiet of the pandemic year and the uncertainty of COVID-19 lockdowns and the total disruption. It kind of forced their songwriter to negotiate with herself in new and challenging ways. So the album is about being happy, being alive, and strength. And throughout the record, they have, met themselves with curiosity and acceptance, even in the harder parts of just life. It's a joyous album. It's equal parts bizarre and accessible and fun. It's on limited edition, first pressing, loser edition, purple vinyl, or purple cassette. So can you see that purple? Probably not in that light so well, but a little bit, right? Okay. So, and of course, if, it will have it marked as the loser edition if that's the one that it is. Okay. Next up, this is Daryl Hall and John Oates. It's called Marigold Sky on BMG. This is a reissue. It was released now for the first time on vinyl. It's their 15th studio album. It was originally released in 1997 to commemorate its 25th anniversary. Now this record became something of a fan favorite and their devoted audience, though it had yet to be made available on digital streaming platforms in full, which it also will be now. This was their first release as independent artists and led by the single Promise Ain't Enough, and it became a top 10 hit on the U.S. adult contemporary charts. So they and I guess it was globally a hit too. So 2 LPs, people, they do have quite a devoted fan base. Okay, this is Aldous Harding, Warm Chris. This is on 4AD. Artist of very rare caliber. She does more than sing. She kind of conjures up intensity in her work. And the New Zealand musician here is reunited with producer John Parrish, who does all the PJ Harvey stuff. And so they began their partnership in 2017, and they're continuing it through this one. So this is really an album as a reminder that one can have many different faces and voices and yet be completely genuine. She's that kind of a deep artist, and so pretty intense record. Next up, we have this reissue of Beth Hart, Bang Bang Boom Boom. It's on the Pro Vogue label. So this was the follow-up to the highly successful soul rock covers album, Don't Explain. And that was a collaboration with blues guy Joe Bonamassa. The album features 11 original Beth Hart tracks, and it is an artistic statement that hits the bullseye, delivering on Beth's potential and finding her place and her peace with herself and looking to the future. So this was originally released in 2012. It's part of this transparent vinyl series, limited edition clear vinyl, and it will say transparent vinyl series up here, and that's how you know what you're getting there. God forbid anyone should slap a sticker on that said clear vinyl. That would be too easy, my friends. Way, way too easy. All right. This one is the James Hunter 6 with Love. It's on the Daptone Records label. This is 12 melodies that have been selected and sequenced with great care and intention by the Daptone staff for the solitary purpose of compiling some overlooked treasures in the James Hunter 6 critically acclaimed catalog. So it's a collection of like candlelit ballads and love songs. Okay. This is a Bibio sound machine, and this is called Electricity, and this is also on Merge Records. So it's the fourth and most progressive album from a Bibio sound machine, and it's like Afrofuturist stories. It begins with an existential crisis. It's darker than anything we've ever done, says Eno Williams, the group's singer. That's because it grew out of the turbulence of the past year and inhabits an edgier world. So this was produced by Grammy Award nominated British synth pop group Hot Chip. They produced this for them, and this collaboration was born out of mutual admiration of different festivals that they were on at the same time. You know, watching each other from from festival stages, as well as a shared love of Francis Bebby and Giorgio Moroder. So the fruits of their labor reveal a gleaming, supercharged Afrofuturistic blinder. It's the first album they have made with external producers since the group's formation in London in 2013. Along the way, the teams conjured a lot of delightful, influences from like Johnson Crew, Grace Jones, Tom Tom Club, the JBs, Bootsy Collins, stuff like that. But anyway, this is a limited edition black and yellow splatter, and it has 3 extra digital tracks and a full download. And it was actually really very good too. All right, here we go, you guys. Again, what is it every week? It's the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard show. So this one is the box. Remember, we had the last one was live in Paris 19. This one is live in London 2019. It's on Fuzz Club. USA edition, 180 gram colored vinyl, remastered exclusively for Fuzz Club, the official bootleg series. All right, the album was recorded when they were in London's Alexandra Palace in 2019. It's remastered by this guy Brett Orison that's worked with Jack White, the Black Angels, and Roky Erickson. And it's arrives as this triple LP box on colored vinyl with exclusive artwork. This artwork is exclusive to Fuzz Club. And each box set includes they're saying 62 centimeter by 62 centimeters poster. That's approximately like 24 and a half by 24 and a half. And the 3 pieces of vinyl, one is like a neon orange, the second one is clear, and the last one is an opaque blue. So that's where that stands. But if that weren't enough, no. We've got King Gizzard live in Melbourne, 2021. Also through Fuzz Club, also boxed up as 3 LPs. And this one is, they were 18 tracks, live album recorded when they were on, where they were in Melbourne's Sydney Meyer Music Bowl. in February of 2021. This is comprised entirely of King Gizzard's microtonal material. The album draws largely from their recent KG and LW albums. Okay, triple box set, and one disc is on neon pink vinyl, one is on neon blue, and one is on neon orange. 180 gram includes, again, that poster, same thing, 62 by 62 centimeters, about 24 and a half inches. The artwork and remaster are exclusive to the Fuzz Club bootlegs. One of these weeks, you guys will be so surprised because we won't have any King Gizzard to talk about, and we won't know what to do with ourselves. All right, this is Jesse Lanza, DJ Kicks, on the K7 label. So this is balancing like contemporary house and techno and more. This Canadian musician, she reveals the range of influences behind her own singular brand of synth pop. She's a good singer too, and this was recorded this summer after moving in a caravan from New York to the West Coast. She said that with her DJ Kicks, she wanted to deliver something both joyful and personal. So the mix features 4 new tracks from her, 2 with San Francisco producer Tara Vall and 1 with her fellow hyperdub artist Lorraine James. But she threads her vocals in and out of the rest of the mix here anyway too. It's 2 LPs. And I don't know, 2 LPs of that, it seems like a lot, but you know, hey, that's all right. And now here's the part where I think I messed up my stuff. What happened to this guy? Oh, here he is. All right. This is Richard Marx, Stories to Tell, Greatest Hits and More. This is on BMG Rights Management. And Richard Marx here is kind of an accomplished singer-songwriter in popular music. His self-titled album in 1987, it went triple platinum and made him the first male solo artist and second solo artist overall after Whitney Houston to have 4 singles from their debut crack the top 3 on Billboard's Hot 100. His follow-up, 1989's Repeat Offender, was an even bigger smash, going quadruple platinum and landing 2 singles at number 1. So he's written 14 number 1 songs in total, and shared a Song of the Year Grammy with Luther Vandross and collaborated with tons of different artists, including NSYNC, Josh Groban, Natalie Cole, and Keith Urban. So this includes never before released demos and live tracks. And this is the part that confuses me. It says, featuring Richard's versions of his biggest hits. Well, weren't they originally Richard's versions? Like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That makes no sense to me. Anyway, it's 2 LPs, and there you go. Have at it. All right, this one, Mattis Yahoo, and it's self-titled. This is on the Fallen Sparks Records label. Matthew Paul Miller, he's known by his Hebrew and stage name, Mattis Yahoo. He's an American Jewish reggae singer, rapper, beatboxer, and alternative rock musician. For his self-titled 7th album, Mattis Yahoo, coming nearly 5 years after Undercurrent. He tells his perspective of a country that he says has allowed him freedoms to pursue his dreams, yet allows the harsh realities of injustice and discrimination to thrive around him. So this album is filled with depictions of Jewish figures, references to the landscapes of America, and collaborations with Latin musicians that push the album to have a more 2020s sound. So this is 2 LPs on clear vinyl with purple splatter. Oh, wait. Not yet. And next up is a reissue of The Muslims. This is Gentrified Chicken. This is on the Epitaph label. It's their 2020 album. It's being printed on vinyl for the very first time now. So it's drawing from influence of the most legendary artists and revolutionaries of our time. They've synthesized the fuck you energy of the oppressed into this ass-kicking, head-smashing, fascist punching sonic experience. So this all-queer black and brown punk band emerged on the U.S. scene shortly after the election in 2016, and they've been chugging along ever since. They have played their first show in a backyard shed in Durham, North Carolina, but have since released 5 studio albums and played to international audiences. Okay, so their influences are people like Nina Simone, Jimi Hendrix, Polly Styrene of X-Ray Specs, and they have very diverse musical backgrounds, but they, as a unit, they just drive it home. This is white vinyl. Here's the sticker that says colored vinyl, and I guess it's in a little round white circle, so from there we're supposed to conclude that it is white vinyl, but it is. Again, I guess it would kill him to just write white vinyl on there. What are we going to do? Next up, this is a brand new by Placebo, Never Let Me Go, and this is on Rise Records. They have unveiled their long-awaited 8th studio album. This is like 9 years on from the release of their last outing, so it's been like almost a decade since they've had anything out. There's plenty here to unpack. They've got those, riffs that are like little earworms that just stay with you, and thick layers of grunge. That's the defining sound that really drives this record. It's got jazzy breaks that kind of come out of nowhere when you think you've pinned down the sound. It's filled with this classic Brian Moloko. That's their chief songwriter here. His goth nihilism is twinged with as much Nirvana as it is Depeche Mode. So it's familiar yet fresh. It's definitely a grower. It's catchier with each listen. So it's 2 LPs on red translucent vinyl or black vinyl. And see, you got the red sticker for the red and the black for the black. And I like that. Give us a clue. Okay, next up, this is a cassette that I've got for you right now. And this is just Post Malone and The Weeknd. And it's called One Right Now. It's on the Republic label. It's a song by American rapper and singer Post Malone and Canadian singer-songwriter The Weeknd. And it was released through Republic Records in November of 2021 as the lead single from Post Malone's upcoming 4th studio album that's 12 Karat Toothache. But this is on cassette now for you. All right, now we've got the Reptilians Multiverse, and this is on Captured Tracks. They're, after exploring surreal realms of high-concept synth pop across 2 albums, this Portland, Oregon duo found newfound clarity in a stark and grounded approach now. And that may be unexpected for such a colorful act known for heady lyrics about conspiracy theories and all, but Cole and Bambi Browning, they've streamlined into the lean essentials of their self-produced new LP here. And they kind of shelved all the dreamy synths and all together working without their other bandmates due to lockdown. So they kind of really had to do this by themselves. So they reset and picked up their guitars, emphasizing the catchy attack that's been there all along, drawing inspiration from the spontaneous energy of the 90s. They hit a momentum after this a casual kind of listen to Jane's Addiction 1990s classic Been Caught Stealing was kind of a real revelation, and it turned out to be very influential. So without even aiming to make a Reptilian song, they wound up penning the set's lead single, Like a Dog, and it's like this real groove bomb that it's all kind of blissed out. And with them paring everything down, it's not carrying around a lot of this sonic baggage and clouding up the whole mix. It's they said it was very fast and fun, and they thought they should do more like that. So an album was born. This is on translucent blue vinyl. It's limited to 1,000 copies, and you can get it now. All right. This is Xavier Rudd, and it's called Janjuk Moon, and this is on Virgin Music International. Okay, it's the 10th album from this Australian roots superstar, Xavier Rudd. He's very prolific throughout his career. In recent years, it's seen him take a break from touring and reassess and explore new ideas and sounds. So those things are evident right from the opening track on this that's called I Am Eagle. It's a blend of very modern production with his trademark modern folk, and it kind of works seamlessly together and prepares us for this like broad musical journey. So the thing is, the sounds, the moods going on, it hasn't really changed. It's the ultimate intent is the result. This is another Xavier Rudd record that's just made from the heart. And 10 albums in, and he's still finding plenty to inspire him. This is 2 LPs on blue vinyl. There's your sticker, blue vinyl. Okay, next up, this is a reissue of Run the Jewels 3. It's on opaque gold vinyl, and it's on the Seeker Music Group. So hip-hop's preeminent collaboration between these veteran rhyme slayers, LP and Killer Mike. They've undergone a rap project to the worldwide sensation, and since the release of their 2013 album, Run the Jewels, self-titled. So they, kind of mix like the industrial grime of New York City with the vibrant bounce of the South. They just have this way of doing that. They've been very successful. And here their third outing, Run the Jewels 3 here, features like a load of talented guest performers, including Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine, Danny Brown, Tunde Adebimpe, and TV on the Radio, and Kamasi Washington. So the album's it just outpours all this rage and defiance and holding everything accountable and all this toppling oppression. This is 2 LPs on opaque gold vinyl, back in print. And not just that, also, the Run the Jewels, the first debut album from 2013, features a series of people like Outkast Big Boy on Banana Clipper and Prince Paul on Twin Hype Back. It's a very rough and rabid ride here, and it's one of the best hip-hop records of 2013, according to many lists, and it's on orange vinyl. No sticker whatsoever, though, so yeah, it just is. And I don't think the other one had any sticker to indicate that it's gold vinyl. It just is. All right, Soilwork, A Predator's Portrait. This is on Nuclear Blast. It's the 3rd full-length studio album released by the Swedish melodic death metal band Soilwork. It's originally released in 2001. It's very heavy, and they, No, I just lost my place. This is what I did in the beginning, you guys. Where's my thing? Okay. And it's got this very crystal clear production on this, and it makes the sound much more incredible than sometimes what you get with certain metal. I'm telling you, though, Swedish, they got it down. They know what they're doing over there. It's a must-buy for any fan of At the Gates, Arch Enemy, Opeth, In Flames, Carcass, that kind of stuff. Even Iron Maiden. If you love quality metal, you'll certainly hold this in high regard. It's pure brutality that's flawlessly executed, limited edition on orange vinyl. And this does say orange vinyl here, so you can see that when you're shopping for it. Okay. This is where I screwed up. Okay. This is so cool, you guys. This was almost going to be one of my picks just because it's so great. This is the Stereophonic Space Sound Unlimited and the Flawless Ms. Drake. This is on High Tide. So this is just more surf, lounge, and exotic sounds from the High Tide recordings. This is Swiss duo Stereophonic Space Sound Unlimited. They're returning here with their 9th studio album, featuring 12 surf, spy, space age lounge, and exotica instrumentals. And if you notice, if you're familiar with this artwork, this is illustrated gatefold art by Shag, who is, just right in that scene. And there's the signature down there. But anyway, so good. And if you like that kind of Esquivel kind of stuff, great. Okay. This one is called Theon Cross, and it's called Intra Eye. All right, this is on the Marathon Artists label. Theon Cross is at the forefront of the thriving London jazz scene right now, with a very gifted musician and composer expanding the sonic possibilities of tuba playing. Okay, so this new solo album, Intra Eye, which means within self, it's an uplifting celebration of Black music, synthesizing the diversity of his musical art and experience to deliver an essential message to a world gripped by tribulation across 10 sonically divergent and rich tracks. Intra I explores themes of self-reliance, origins, identity, and more. So it's an exploratory and upful celebration of Afro-diaspora music. The album features songs that examine self-development, the importance of history and heritage, and the strength in adversity shown by the first generations of post-war Caribbean immigrants to the UK. So in addition to being entirely made from sounds taken from the tuba, it's his first music to feature guest vocalists and adding this whole nother dimension to the music. So this is fascinating stuff here, and it is 10 tracks. All right, this is Richard Thompson, guitar vocal, a collection of unreleased and rare material, 1967 to 1976. It's on the Island label. It's the 45th anniversary reissue of Richard Thompson's 1976 collection of rarities with the Fairport Convention, Linda Thompson, and solo. It's remastered and available here on 180-gram heavy vinyl, and it is also 2 LPs. Okay, this is Tinariwen, and this is Amasakul Indigo on Wedge Records. This is Amasakul was Tinariwen's breakthrough album, originally recorded in Mali in the UK in 2013. Now remastered for vinyl with bonus released track, exclusive photos, and brand new liner notes. A double LP limited edition indigo vinyl in printed inner sleeves in a gatefold. There's only 3,000 copies worldwide, and a download card provides 24-bit waves. This one you can see here on the sticker. It says limited edition indigo violet. No, indigo vinyl. Jeez. So at least it says it. Next is also another reissue. This is also Tinariwen, the Radio Tisdas Sessions on the Wedge label. 20th anniversary edition of Tinariwen's first studio album, the Radio Tisdas Sessions, has been remastered for vinyl. Includes an unreleased bonus track, exclusive photos, brand new liner notes, double LP, limited edition white vinyl, printed inner sleeves in a gatefold. Only 3,000 copies worldwide. Download card provides 24-bit waves. Also, this one, kind enough to say limited edition white vinyl right there. Okay, now we have VR Sex, Rough Dimension. This is on the Deus label. Now, this is the latest by Andrew Klinko's acid punk alias VR Sex. It takes its title from an architectural phrase, but more importantly, it refers to the warped, wicked underworld the songs both chronicle and condemn. And VR Sex are audiovisual provocateurs who transpose the identifiers of death rock, synth punk, post-punk, ambient, and ethereal soundscapes. So, donning the moniker of Noel Scum, an acerbic anagram of Elon Musk, Klinko vents his scorn and fascination with the seedy, surreal margins of low-life Los Angeles, doomed to dead ends of vanity, lust, and technology. So there you go. All right, and then we have Wallows, Tell Me That It's Over. This is on Atlantic. It's been 3 years since they released their debut album, and just 10 songs. The newest album gives them the opportunity to dive further into exploration of what they started on that first album without, kind of biting off more than they can chew. It's, is it revolutionary to the genre? No, but it doesn't mean that it's it's an honest progression for a young band from its freshman to sophomore albums here. So this one's on yellow vinyl. Okay, now we've got some great reissues for you that we started with last week. It's the White Stripes, and didn't we have Like to Style last week? And do we have one of the other ones? So anyway, this week we've got Elephant. This is on the Sony import label. Now, Elephant's the fourth studio album by the White Stripes. It was originally released in 2003, and it's a defining event in garage rock revival. This is the one that has Seven Nation Army on it, which, if you've ever been to a sporting event in like the last, 10 years or whatever, you know that song, and it's everywhere. So that's available. And the next one is Get Behind Me, Satan. This one is on Sony Import as well. This is the 5th studio album. And this one was originally released in 2005. So making an almost entirely clean break with this, kind of jet-fueled blues rock of Elephant and to style, they forsake electric guitar on all but a couple of tracks, working instead with pianos, acoustic guitars, marimbas, and other assorted, oddball percussion. But, that's available now too. It's nice that those are becoming, because they've been out of print and hard to find for a long time. Okay, you guys, and that, I believe, is it. Aren't you glad? Are you still with me? Hopefully this one went a little faster than last week. And let's see if I can block the sunbeam there for a minute. So I'm going to post the list down below. I hope you find something that you like. And, we're looking forward to some great new releases coming up in the following weeks. And pop in and see us if you're a local yokel. It's 10 to 4 every day of the week. And this weekend, wide open. All these new releases available for you. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week, and have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.